notes, you will receive them, okay? Until you receive the books, I will send a picture of the discussion that we have today on Google Classroom. So that you shouldn't, what did I say? You know that it's very hard to speak wearing a mask, right? So can you wait until I finish what I have? Then I'll give you a chance to ask. What were you going to say?
You give us on this page, right? If we don't have the book, how can we do it?
I will send you a picture. I was saying that, and you raised before listening. So I will send you a picture of the pages that we discussed, that we're going to discuss today, so that you can do them at home. Okay?
Okay.
And if you remember last time, we're going to start health and lifestyle. Can I raise this?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, the first chapter of the Upgrade 2 is about health and lifestyle. And the objective of this topic for page 4. So after this lesson, you'll be describing the components of yes, you should write this. So after this lesson, at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe the components of healthy diet, as we discussed what healthy diet means. And also, you will be expected to explain the role or the uses of each food group. And we're about to see different food groups. But before we see the food groups, there is a term called nutrients. Try not to make any more noise.
No, sorry.
Okay. So nutrients. Nutrients are very useful kind of chemical substances. Those are important for growth. And in order to have a healthy lifestyle, we need to take in nutrients. So nutrients are chemical substances essential for growth. So we need to have them. And if you remember from the last discussion we had, there are, on the local book, there are different nutrients listed, also their reactions and diseases. Do you remember?
Good.
Actually, don't copy this, but there are two terms which are related to our feeding habit. And there is what do you think balanced diet means? What does it have to do with a healthy living style, like healthy lifestyle? Yes?
Balanced diet means like having food proper in our body
balanced diet is when you take enough nutrients like protein, vitamins, fiber.
Nice.
And milk, fiber.
Water.
Protein,
Yes.
vitamins.
So let's start from proteins.
Proteins.
Yes. What is the function of protein in the body for one person? Do they have any function at all, or they're just a nutrient? They're just a nutrient, or they're yes.
The main source of energy.
Huh?
The main source of energy.
No.
It helps you. It helps you go faster.
And yes, they are involved in production of new kind of like cells in our body, and also they are important in repairing the damaged cells from the body. So they are used in growth and repair. There is another nutrient.
Carbohydrates.
That's fine.
Oh, sorry.
You can get it.
Carbohydrates. Yes.
Energy supply.
Yes, they are instant or very quick supply of energy.
Is there any like this?
Miss, I don't eat meat. I don't eat egg. I only drink milk.
Chicken is
Just that I did not give a chance to speak.
I have less.
Thank you, Naku. Garrett,
vitamins.
can you tell us what vitamins do?
Vitamins.
Just Garrett.
Okay. Fight against diseases. Diseases.
They help us fight
Against
against diseases. Do you remember the different types of vitamins that we have seen in last classes? There are different types of groups of vitamins, right?
Yeah.
There is vitamin A, vitamin B, but B different types, and vitamin C, vitamin D. What is the deficiency diseases? Like the deficiency disease, the specific kind of deficiency disease caused by the lack of vitamin A. Come on.
Nitrogen. I mean, like the one that you see in the dirt.
Very good. So the deficiency disease caused by the lack of vitamin A from the body is termed as night blindness. Okay, so it is the inability to see in a low light. So people who have like shortage of vitamin A from the body, they struggle with the deficiency or the inability to see during dim lights. And vitamin B, there are different kinds of Bs. Vitamin
B1 and B12. B12.
There is vitamin B, which one of them is niacin, and there is another B, which is pellagra. Not pellagra, sorry, tannin.
Miss. Oh, I don't know.
So the shortage of this specific kind of the vitamin B, which is niacin, it causes a deficiency disease called
Depression.
mental. Yeah, it has something to do with it. Yes, it has a name called niacin causes pellagra.
What's pellagra?
Pellagra. It is the deficiency disease caused by the lack of vitamin B. The specific B, niacin.
So that's depression. So
Not
Maybe have a problem.
Yes.
Can I tell another nutrient and then go to the bathroom?
No. Okay. Actually, tell me.
Another one is fiber.
What? Actually, but we're not done with this one. Do you know that deficiency disease is called vitamin? I gave you this. Do you remember I gave you to find to search for another vitamins that are present in the nutrients, right?
Yeah.
So aren't you like done with that now?
yeah, but can I see that? So Miss, I have a question.
Listen, next time I want you like to think and relate of these nutrients. I just don't want you to remember. Just if you try to remember something, it just fades away. I don't know. Then I want you for this case, I want you to be like the thinkers, not the ones who remembers, but the one who relates like the nutrients with the food that you're eating, right? You're bringing like snacks and food, lunch, right? So you're following a certain kind of diet. So you need to know what you're putting into your diet. Okay? Edna.
I said fiber. Adds bulk to the digestive.
What does it mean? Like to add what? Bulk? Yes.
I think you need to take that.
She's correct, by the way.
Yeah.
No. Quiet. Thank you. You're supposed to explain that. What does that mean? To add bulk?
To add it's like a weight so that your food can digest properly and accept new volume.
Yes, it adds volume to the digestive food, so it makes it easier for the digestive to go or to move around the gut. Okay? So yes, you're correct. And you can go. Edna, go and come back. And the next group of nutrients is...
Can I add some fiber?
Yes?
It's not a nutrient, but it's needed for a balanced diet.
Excellent. Fibers, they don't contain any kind of nutrients. They are not nutrients, but they are very helpful in the nutrition system. Okay, they facilitate, like they help in the nutrition system, but by themselves, they cannot be considered as nutrients. Yes. And the next group of nutrient is...
Can I ask you a question?
I prefer you to just raise. Yes, you can ask me. Just raise your hands.
I did use.
I just turned.
Yeah.
Okay.
What foods are rich in vitamins?
Vitamin? That is good. What food contains vitamin B?
I don't know.
Bananas?
That's calcium.
And so banana.
Eggs.
Oh, you have the chart?
Yeah.
Meat.
It's eggs.
Protein.
And it says eggs, liver, fish, and more. Liver?
Yeah, liver. It is rich. It is vitamin B rich.
I eat liver every year, Kyle. So I never.
You used to eating liver? Wait. Thank you, everyone. Yes, you're welcome. You were telling us about vitamins. Can you tell us what vitamins are? No, minerals.
So it's important for a healthy growth.
Can you tell me an example of a mineral? Do you know any example
Yes.
of a mineral? Why just raise? Listen, now you're the only one who is in the
Oh,
water.
I drink water.
Then come on.
I
No, I give you already.
Water.
Huh?
Water.
Water is a mineral?
You said that when she was on.
No, it's not
A
a
mineral.
mineral. Water, it's a compound. You learned it on chemistry. Yes, mineral water, meaning water that contains mineral. It's a mineral water.
Eggs like sparkling water.
Yeah. Listen. So the minerals, some of the minerals are calcium, magnesium. These are calcium, specifically calcium is very important, along with not fiber, along with what is important for you, like the mineral important for the growth of bones. It's in here. No, the group of nutrients that is important for the bones, like to grow calcium, it works like for the repair and growth of your bones. Okay, so they are very important in maintaining a healthy growth, like having healthy bones. And the last, not the last actually, there are 6. There are about 7 important nutrients. I really, it bothers me. Just be quiet and breathe. Water. Yes. What is the use of water in the nutrition?
Do you need some water? Needed for
I did not give you a chance in. I was just
no.
okay, so she already said it, but next time just trace. Needed by.
I didn't say that.
So what is the use of water?
The water.
No, the use, the function of, or what do we need to have water in the nutrition system? So finish it, yes.
It's for our bodies.
Yes, it is needed by the bodily fluid, meaning our blood is not only made up of cells, right? There is a part that contains water, and it is termed as plasma. So there is a part that have water in the blood. So it is needed by the blood. If there is no enough water in the body, it causes dehydration, right? So it causes the blood cells to shrink. And if there is too much water, that means they're going to burst. So we need to have optimum amount of water daily.
I have another one.
Will you keep quiet? Come on.
I'm sorry.
What is the next nutrient? Lipids. We call them? Yes, lipids are. So fats and oils, the function of fats and oils is, that is true. Fats, they protect the major organs, or they cover the major, so they are means of protection. And also, bodily fluid. I thought you were going to say something about fats. And also, fats are some sort of stored energy. They are stored kind of energy, and also they are found under our skin. Also, yes, insulation. It is called insulation. So they use as a blanket to cover or to maintain, to help us maintain a constant temperature. They are found underneath our skin. If you see see through a cut, you will see white thing, right?
It was all white.
So that is the fat located underneath your skin. What did I say? Can you wait until I finish? So lipids are some kind of stored energy. Yes, Jonathan.
Two things to say. First of all, when carbohydrates, after you eat something that has a carbohydrate, if you don't burn it, it's gonna change your fat, right?
Actually, that is good. Let's see. First, let's see this one. There is a term called food pyramid. Yes, there is a pyramid for the nutrients that we should take in. Okay, so here at the base of the pyramid, there should be a specific kind of nutrient that we should take, and also for the second, and for the third, and for the last. Okay, before we move on to seeing which should come first and which should come last, on our diet, if we're eating too much, if we're much and work too little. There happens a situation where it can cause us
Obesity.
to have
Obese.
to be overweight.
Obese.
Overweight is a kind of situation where people are too much overweight.
Addicted to
Yes. When they're too much overweight, it causes them to be obese. And it causes like being obese or overweight, it has its own health risk. And they can have goals. Obese or generally overweight people, they are at the risk of being
heart attack. Or
yes. They having heart attack,
Yeah.
stroke,
Miss, I was studying yesterday.
yes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Excellent. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Mental problems.
Huh?
Mental problems.
No, that's like close by.
Oh.
I know. Once the smoke happens, they go to mental problems.
Actually, yeah, it can cause them to be depressed. Yes, depression can cause like to be. Yes, different psychological problems.
It's not about that. It's about water. It says on the textbook on the beginning, it says that a person has at least 1 liter of water a day.
Sorry?
It says a person has to like have at least 1 liter of water a day. Then, like when we go to the Wikipedia, it says it has to like have 2 liters.
Yes. A healthy person, like a minimum 6 to 8 glass of water per day is recommended. Per person. 6 glass means it's about 2 liters. Yes. So let's say you should have drink like more than 1 liter. 1 liter is only 3 glass. But you shouldn't like pass the limit of the maximum number because you might have like the cells might have too much water in them and they might burst. Yes, so it's not good. Too much water is not good. And also too little water, it's not good because it causes us to be dehydrated.
Miss, for the overweight people, want to know, there are some of them who want to get rid of their weight, so they actually do sport. And then after they do sports, at some point, they lose a couple pounds, and then they just start crying for some reason.
Crying?
It's because I saw it on YouTube. And then this lady,
She is speaking.
this lady was like, Miss, I don't know how to explain to you, but I'm keeping it. Okay? And then she wanted to work out because people on YouTube were saying mean things about her because she has her own YouTube channel. And then after that, like she started working out and then she lost like a couple pounds and then after that one day, said Sarah, but I'm gonna come on now. She just fell on the floor and started crying.
Yes. You know that people, we have a certain kind of standards, we say someone beautiful if we think that person is thin and we say, oh, you're fit. But if someone is like overweight or if that person is obese, we discriminate them, right? And we don't consider them as beautiful as with the normal person think they are. Because they are normal people. It doesn't explain. It doesn't define them. Being overweight shouldn't define the personality. It doesn't define the personality. That person might be like a good-hearted person, and the person might be going through different situations or health issues. The person might gain weight because of like hormonal changes or certain kind of medications that they have to take. So it is because of different reasons. But our standard says they're not good enough. And they're still emotional. I don't know, we're making them emotional because we're saying many things about their appearance. And the appearance shouldn't matter. And let's come back here. But for most of the cases, like besides like the persons, like let's not focus on those persons who with a specific kind of situation, like overweight but with certain kind of medication and hormonal changes or diseases. I'm not talking about that. But the nutrition, the person who's overweight because of the poor nutrition, if that person is eating too much and working too little, that person is most likely to be overweight. And the other situation is, if the person is eating too little and work too hard, that person is going to be underweight. Yes, that person is going to be underweight because they're not eating as they're working. Okay, they need energy. I don't know. They need energy to do anything. But if they're not taking the energy, but if they are like exerting the energy they had in their body, that means they are going to be underweight. And underweight people, they have their own risk. They're under their own risk. Being underweight can just make them tired during, like feel tired the whole day. They will be unable to do any activity, okay? And also their bones, they will grow weak because they're not taking enough nutrients, but they are working harder. So it causes them to be underweight. Yes, come on.
Miss, being underweight is so much better than being overweight.
It has its own risk.
Okay.
It has its own health risk.
Which one is better, Miss? Which one is better? You have underweight.
Okay, the better one is to stay fit.
But I'm so used to not eating regular food.
No, Miss, I eat too much.
Come on.
So then guess what? This one is a chocolate 6,000 calories in
So, what I recommend for you guys is to stay fit, meaning you should always have so if your diet is balanced, meaning taking the proper amount of nutrients and different nutrients which are essential to your body, then you're almost likely to stay fit. Okay? And when we say balanced diet, there is a food pyramid, and the food nutrient that we should take early in the morning when we wake up is, we should take carbohydrates because
It's supply energy.
we need energy, we need energy. So they supply energy. Some of the examples of carbohydrates are bread, pasta, rice, cereals, like some starches, yes, grains. And the next nutrient that we should take is proteins. Vitamins are vegetables and fruits, okay? So we should take vitamins next. Then the third one is protein. This one is
meat.
yes, meat,
Egg,
fish, egg, yes.
Chicken
Also.
and oil.
For this,
Yeah.
Ashi.
The last one.
I'm going to say this now. Can you tell me
Why? Why would you say that in the part?
Because I can't say it in English.
Okay, try. I'll try my best. I'm not good either, then I'll try to
If
understand.
you are fasting, can you eat meat?
No.
Oh,
No.
so
How can you get
protein.
That is good. A very good question. Yes, if you're fasting and if you're like Orthodox Christian, you're not allowed to eat meat or dairy products. And that-
While you're on
yes, while you're fasting, but you can substitute proteins from grains. For example, if you take beans and also, yes, they are very good source of protein, and you can substitute
a
them.
lot of rice.
Yes, that is true.
The main cause of
Yeah, but
those restrictions, you know what? It's to balance your diet because as a people we
we can discuss that later. Okay, we're not going in detail about the religious view. Come on.
Please, get my understand. For you mentioned.
yeah.
Get that avocado has like
Yes, thank you.
That's how you do
Over here. Yes, true. Avocados and also some other the grains. Some grains they contain they are rich in protein, so we can include them. And the last group should come fats, which is oil, lipids, right? Fats and oils. And also there is a group called sweets. Sweets. Sweets are carbohydrates. Sweets are carbohydrates, but they should be taken like in a small amount. We shouldn't take them like in a very huge amount. What do you think happens if we invert the pyramid?
That's gonna be
Like inverting and carbohydrate here, protein, vitamin, protein, and lipids. What do you think is going to happen to our diet? Just raise. Can you try? Can you guess what would happen if we invert like our diet? Like taking carbohydrate in the morning in a smaller amount, and vitamins and proteins, and a lot of lipids at night. What do you think is going to happen to us?
I know, Miss.
The first cheers for the first time.
I think it's not going to be balanced.
Definitely, since the size is not the same, there causes some balancement. It's going to be unbalanced. That is true.
You know what my mom always says? Pasta? Mostly we don't eat dinner. So we balance out. So she said, it's fat. It's fat.
I can't give like at the same time for each of you. Look good. Let me start from this road and I will listen to your opinions. I will give you the chance to tell me what you think about the pyramid. I'll go through it like turn by turn.
Me?
Yeah, let's start here.
First, baby.
Second is overweight.
It can cause us to be overweight and diabetes. Nice.
And
And no vitamins. There are many diseases to tackle.
That is true.
And carbohydrates, no energy, laziness.
Tired.
Yeah.
So it's not balanced. Diabetes overweight not vitamins
Very good. Come on.
I'm gonna ask you something and then I'll say something. Wait, what if you eat everything balanced but too much protein? Does too much protein affect you?
Yeah.
Yes. Like too much of each of the nutrients, it's not good. And also it makes you to gain weight if you're eating too much protein. Okay? Because they're used to repair and to grow new cells. So they're building our muscles. So you grow like big.
But then, are we gonna get fat?
No, you're gonna go big.
If you're not working out, yes, most likely you're going to get fat.
You're gonna go big.
Okay, then what is your comment about this pyramid? I was asking. I'm coming turn by turn.
A small amount of carbohydrates on the morning is fine, but when we go to too much fat, instead of eating sweets, we just eat fat. So I think that will give you diabetes.
That is true. So, to sum up, since you're coming to the far class, sorry guys, I'm sorry. The inverted pyramid tells us we're taking too little of the energy that we need during the day, and we're taking it like too much energy to bed. Do we need this much amount of energy to sleep? No. And it's not good because at night it is advisable to take like vitamins. In a small amount. Too much of every nutrient, it's not good for the balanced diet.